All right, everybody. This is Larry from the NCCA, National Chess Council of America, and I got a good game to show you guys today. Let's do our review. As you see, I played about 1550 on this game, about 86%. Let's do the review.
Opening with the king's pawn controls the center and opens up the light-squared bishop and queen, often leading to sharp games.
No, let's go next one.
The Sicilian Defense controls the d4 square with c-pawn. Knight f3 develops the knight toward the center to prepare for a d4 pawn push, where the knight will recapture if black captures on d4.
Right now it's just basically opening.
Knight c6 helps control both the d4 square and the e5 square.
I got double coverage here, and I got coverage here.
Knight c3 develops the knight toward the center, supports the e4 pawn, and controls the d5 square. You are bringing your knight into play, eyeing the central squares. This move prepares for their bishop to join the action.
Yes, it does.
That was an even swap of material. A straightforward recapture. g6 prepares to fianchetto the dark squared bishop to g7, where it will sit on the long diagonal. They exchange pieces of equal value.
This was a mistake because of the fact that now I'm bringing this pawn closer to the center.
You captured back. They kick your knight with a pawn, forcing it to move or be captured.
And that was a good move by them because I have to move back.
A good choice to move your threatened knight. This seems like a mistake to me.
Yeah.
You missed an opportunity to develop a bishop by placing it on the long diagonal. This is a fair trade. You overlooked an opportunity to recapture a piece. Your opponent develops their queen off its starting square.
This wasn't a very good move because now I'm just going to put my queen here. We're going to exchange queens. I'm still going to get this bishop for this pawn.
You shield your king by blocking the check from the queen. They exchange pieces of equal value. You use the recapture to develop another piece. They move the bishop to safety.
And it's going to chase the bishop.
You're kicking their bishop out of a useful square. This move puts their bishop on a safer square. This is a fine move. They chose queenside castling, creating a more active position with the rook near the center. You kicked your opponent's piece from that square. They move the bishop to safety. This isn't a mistake, but there was something better for you.
There was. I could have moved this up. But I have an idea here, which...
That's playable.
That's playable. But the challenge I'm going to give him is
You
more
develop your
valuable.
piece while also winning a tempo on the bishop. Moving their threatened bishop to safety. You've just allowed your pawn to be taken without a fight.
But if the pawn gets taken, I take the bishop.
They overlooked an opportunity to capture a free pawn.
And now I take the free pawn.
That was a fair trade. A clear recapture. You had a better option, but this is not bad. Your opponent created a passed pawn, giving it a clear path toward promotion.
This is the area where I got a little hairy for me.
There was only one good move and you found it.
So he put me in there. He's going to go for this. I'm going to get 2 for 1.
By moving too quickly, they missed the only good move in this position.
And I'm getting it.
At last, you reclaim the material with this recapture. They've targeted your pawn by pinning one of its defenders.
But I have a free pawn.
You overlooked an opportunity to unpin a bishop, allowing it to provide defense. You got lucky here. Your opponent missed the chance to capitalize on your mistake. You trade off equal material. Recaptures. You allowed the opponent to eventually win a bishop. You are now able to win material through a fork. They overlooked an opportunity to eventually win a bishop. Nice fork. You'll be winning material. Decent move, but they had a better one. You won a rook for free. They move the rook to safety. You step your king away from the checking rook. That's not a mistake, but they did not find the best move here. You captured that free pawn. They played one of the best moves here.
But is it really?
For sure you had to move away from the threat. Their king steps away from the check by your knight.
But I
You captured a free pawn.
And now I have 3-on-1.
They made one of the top moves in this position.
No.
Nice. You capture a
He's in
vulnerable
check.
pawn, winning material after all trades are completed. A straightforward recapture. Recapturing.
And I know he's coming down here next, so I'm just going to move right up.
I like their choice. You dodge the check, moving your king out of harm's way. They played one of the best moves here.
Not really, I just moved my pawn up.
You found a safer square for your pawn. A correct move to get their pawn out of harm's way. Well done, an excellent move. They move their king out of the check from your rook. Your passed pawn is one step closer to promote. Their passed pawn moves closer to promotion. Your opponent has to watch that passed pawn. Pushing their passed pawn. Nice, you found a way to win a pawn. They took your bishop for free. Passed pawns must be pushed. That's playable. Your passed pawn advances to its goal. Their rook moved to a blockade square. Your pawn is no longer hanging and is now defended. They made one of the top moves in this position.
But it's defensible.
Your passed pawn is one step closer to promotion. Decent move, but they had a better one. Your rook is no longer hanging and is now defended. I like their choice. Your opponent has to watch that passed pawn. They move their king out of the check from your pawn. Passed pawns must be pushed. That's not a mistake, but they did not find the best move here. Nice. Definitely the right move. This move doesn't help their position at all.
Not at all.
A logical capture. A clear recapture. Getting closer to the forced checkmate. They played one of the best moves here. You're continuing down the road to checkmate. They played the strongest move available. You continue the checkmate attack. Their king steps away from the check by your pawn. Your move gets closer to checkmate. Their piece moved to a blockade square, stopping your pawn. You continue the checkmate attack. Getting closer to the forced checkmate. They place their piece on a blockade square, stopping your pawn. You're continuing down the road to checkmate. Your move gets closer to checkmate. They made one of the top moves in this position. You continue the checkmate attack.
They resign here. They know I'm going to get 2 queens. But it was a good game. And I used a Sicilian defense in this game. It was a good game. They played well. I made one mistake. I could have ended the game a lot quicker.